$60,000 US is the prize purse, but if Doppler Horst can pull this off today, they will enter into sporting legendary status. That's the gold medal winning trophy for these 11th FIVB World Championships of beach volleyball. It's going to be a tough one. The Brazilians have beaten them before already this season. It was a three-setter. Referee just texts the RTBS. Look at that little tap just to make sure that the real-time body sensor on all four players on court is working. There you see it above the players. Doppler, blocker right-handed. Horst, defense right-handed. Loyola, block defense right-handed. Evandro, block and defense right-handed. And that is the difference, Dane, between Brazil and Austria. The two lads in yellow and green can play anywhere and pull off any shot at any time.
Their big strength for Brazil, it's going to be ripping the serve from the back line as Evandro gets it going.
Well, it's a good, I was just about to say it was a good serve receive from Doppler. First point on the board for Brazil. Evandro, one of the top servers of the tournament, one of the best in the world, and of course, the best tour server 2015 and 2016, voted by all the players, not people like us, Dave.
It's a fierce serve. You almost are in a defensive stance when he takes off because of the velocity he generates. Wow, and there it is, a rip right down the middle. This was a big question. Could Evandro stay consistent throughout the tournament? And he has done so. Ripping serves right out of the gate. This could cause some trouble for the Austrians. They're gonna have to settle down.
38 aces, best server in the tournament. I think it's fair to say he's the best server on the FIVB World Tour, and if he can keep this momentum going, Austria will find themselves in trouble in this opening set to 21 points. This time it's a service error from Evandro. Quick point, easy point on the board for Austria.
If you contrast these two teams, it's going to be Brazil that needs to win the blocking as well as the net play, whereas the ball control needs to be the strength for the Austrians.
Oh, well, how about that? At 71 kilometers per hour, just over 44 mph, Austria with Alex Horst give the Brazilians a piece of their own medicine. Ace serve.
Only 4 points have been scored, and we've already had 3 aces here. All 4 players come into play.
The atmosphere down there on center court is electric. Horst again with a big serve to Loyola. Evandro sets his partner. Attack, good save, and a lovely little pokey from Doppler. Brazil also hustling to keep the ball up. Doppler on the attack. There it is. Scores all tied at 2-2. My goodness, Dane, this is fast and furious in the early exchanges.
A lot of energy expenditure early on. You saw Evandro and Loyola side trying to make it happen, but when Austria gets an opportunity, they are capitalizing. It's Clemens Doppler thundering that ball straight down.
Scores. 3-2 advantage for Austria. Here's Alex Horst now, looking to get the first break. Service error. Frustrating. All tied, 3-all.
Clemens Doppler, Alexander Horst have been playing together since 2012, playing in their 50th FIVB event.
They've never won a gold. Silver has come their way before. They've never climbed to the top of the podium on the tour. But could this be a dream come true for the Austrian duo? No question they have the support of the home crowd. People are glued to their TV sets across this country right now, but they've got one of the toughest teams in the business to go up against.
Well, that's the roll shot that they're going to have to use. Remember, I talked about ball control. Why? Because Evandro is 6'11", Loyola Stein 6'7", playing defense. They're interchangeable, but not the quickest players. Usually a team has a shorter player, much like Alexander Horst, who's a defensive specialist. On the Brazilian side, not so.
Oh, Evandro powers that into the net. Well, is the pressure starting to get to the Brazilians? Brazilian men have won 14 of the last 30 medals given out in World Championship history. They are the nation, along with the USA, of this sport. But is it the turn of Austria? 5-3 to the boys in red and white. Doppler with service for Austria. Serving Loyola. And Loyola, powerful play there.
Andre Loyola, the second youngest player to play in a gold match in World Championship history. The youngest ever was Alvaro Fijo, and he was also the youngest to win, 4 months younger than Loyola Stein, who is now 22.
Let's watch this big serve from Evandro, still the advantage with Austria. And that is out of play, 85 kilometers per hour, 52 miles per hour. And Austria kind of happy to watch that one go out of bounds.
The more missed serves by Brazil, for sure, that is going to allow Austria's confidence to grow.
Service ace from Alex Horst at 79 kilometers per hour, just shy of 50 miles per hour. And that is spectacular. Second ace of the match for Horst, his 16th in the tournament.
And he's serving it right down the middle, a very vulnerable spot. The Brazilians need to pinch together and protect that middle. The priority should be cross-court. Andre Loyola Stein.
Float serve. Loyola just there with the save, now looks to finish. Horst has his hands on the ball, but not quite the position he was hoping for to gain control.
Alexander Horst has had such an incredible tournament, playing such amazing defense in the backcourt. He's just got to control that ball up in the air rather than over the net, and you can see the frustration on his face. He knows he let one get away. There's the concentration of Loyola Stein on the pass. Horst putting a lot of pressure from that service line.
Here is Loyola Stein with the service. Andre as he goes by on court. Evandro, big block at the net. First one for the Brazilian in this match.
Remember, we said the Brazilians have to control the net with their size. Finally, Evandro striking at the net right there. The Austrians have to really be aware of when he has that block set up and not challenge it too often. They got to get the little chip shot around it.
Loyola serving. Serving Clemens Doppler. Good save from Horst. Doppler showing the Brazilian Loyola that they mean business here. Fires that ball at the young Brazilian's body and gives him a real clout with it as well.
And his body, that almost took off Andre Loyola Stein's face. Look at him duck and cover. Welcome to the finals at 22 years of age. Wow, that was a blast right there. I love the aggressive play that we're seeing early on in this championship.
If you're going to play with the big boys, expect it rough and ready. Here comes Doppler. Service error for Clemens.
Don't mind that, Nick. Don't mind that at all. The way the Austrians are serving, aggressive. It's got the Brazilians on their heels. You're going to miss a few. Just keep the focus. And we're getting the... Not sure what happened here to Alexander Horst. He does have a smile on his face, although something is going on with his right arm.
Has he got a little sting from an insect?
Yeah, I guess that smile was more of a grimace.
I think he's been stung by a wasp or something out there.
It's quite possible. Yeah, you hate to see something like that, but it looks like, by the way he's looking at it, that maybe something did sting him. Hopefully it doesn't affect his game.
Oh, we're getting confirmation it's a bee sting to the arm of Alex Horst. Let's hope he doesn't just stop their momentum, rhythm, and focus here.
Well, that is very odd that, you know, B would have time and land on a player because you're moving so much out there. I don't know that I've seen that happen. Definitely not in the finals of a world championship.
Let's hope there's a little bit of honey that goes with that sting and gives him a bit of sweet luck and success. Doppler is outgunned again by Evandro on the service for Brazil. That's his third ace serve for Evandro. Such a powerful part of the Brazilian game. Doppler has no answer.
3 aces for Brazil now, 2 aces for Austria. And as we said, Brazil has to win not only the ace game, but also the blocking game if they are to be victorious.
50% strike rate from Evandro on the serve to ace. That one just out of play. 86k on the ball. That's just over 53 miles per hour. Scores are all tied at 9 points all. Now, let's hope that beasting doesn't affect the arm swing of Alex Horst. I don't think so. He's one of the toughest players on tour, this gentleman. Nice set for Loyola. Oh, well, the thought there from Alex Horst was to try and go over on one. I think that was a pretty brave attempt. Unlucky not to pull it off.
I want to call that play the Laura Ludwig. She is so good at going over on one. I call it the Laura Ludwig signature series shot. No one executes it better. That time, Horst just missing the end of the court.
The Ludwig, I like it, Dane, the Ludwig. Temperature's getting a little warmer down there. And you can understand why, to be honest. Lovely float, but a good turn and burn from Evandro. Same shot back for Austria. Horst up at the net, over the fingers of Loyola. Point on the board for the Austrians in red and white. Scores all tied at 10 points all.
Now this is an incredible rally. There's the sacrifice, the turn and burn up for Evandro, the cut shot. Horst says not just yet. He gets an opportunity. The set is tight, but he's able to chip it just over the outstretched fingers and hands of Andre Loyola Stein. A huge point for Austria.
Doppler with service. Doppler serving Evandro this time, who will now attack for Brazil. Oh, and he had his fingertips there. You could hear it, couldn't you, Dane? But not quite in position.
And now we'll take our first break in action. Technical timeout right here. There's one technical timeout in the first 2 sets to 21. If we go 3 sets, no technical timeout. Of course, each team gets 1 timeout as well. And we switch sides on increments of 7 so that no team gets an edge as we look at them tend to that bee sting on the right underside where the skin is very tender there. Alexander Horst getting stung by a bee midway through this first set. Extraordinary. Never have I seen this. It looks like they're trying to apply pressure. And interesting. That has got to hurt.
It'll add to the story, doesn't it, really? Wherever these guys play, there's drama. But the whole of Austria right now is holding its breath to see if Doppler Horst can pull off the biggest match of their career. Match 216, it's the final of the World Championships for 2017. Let's look at the distance covered from the RTBS real-time body sensors. 152 kcals, 0.5 kilometers. So more work, it looks like, done from the Brazilian side of the court than the Austrians. That is a beautiful save from Doppler. Can he finish? Oh, lovely block from Loyola for Brazil at the net there to take the break, go 2 clear.
Evandro had such a run with his former partner, Pedro Salgado. They both were blockers interchangeable. You don't see it very often, but right there, you see how Andre Loyola Stein, not only a blocker, but a defender. These 2 tall players really trying to defy the odds and put height on the court and really dominate.
Oh, remarkable work at the net from Loyola. That was extraordinary. Taking on both of the Austrian players and coming out on top.
And the multiple jumps is what's so surprising. There's a jump, he gets it, he jousts, he gets that and wins, and then he's able to move laterally to his left, jet his hands over the net, and block Alexander Horst. Horst taking a seat down on the sand thinking, how do we get it by this guy?
Well, the real-time body sensors tell us that the Brazilians are burning more kcals than the Austrians, and I think that's a clear example. Just absolute grit and determination from Loyola to grab that point, taking Brazil 3 clear. Here's the big serve from Evandro again, best server of the tournament. Oh, that kiss off the tape almost catches Doppler out. And that's a beautiful rainbow shot from the Austrian. And a very valuable point back for the boys in red and white.
Well, Brazil might have the height advantage, but they don't have the advantage here. Running down shots like that, that's where Austria has to exploit the weakness of the height of the Brazilians. They're not as quick in the backcourt. And right there, Evandro nearly gets that up, but he's just a little bit late.
34-year-old Alex Horst with service. It's a big one to Loyola. 79, almost 80 kilometers per hour on the ball. And it looks so easy when the service works for Austria. The drills and skills that they've worked so hard on just come together with ease.
I'll tell you what, Austria has turned up the volume with their serve on the back line. Maybe getting some inspiration from Evandro, who we saw rip a couple aces right after the opening whistle. But I did not expect this. The Austrians are ripping serves, trying to beat Brazil at their own game.
There's another great service from Alex Horst. Loyola on the attack. Oh, and he gets it through the arms of the Doppler block there.
And here it is. We call this a field goal when it goes right between the uprights, the two arms of Clemens Doppler, and he knows he just missed that. So close to being a stuff block.
Here's the youngest player on court, just 22, Loyola. Serves cross-court to Doppler. Doppler on the attack for Austria. Down the line with absolute precision. Another big play and point for Austria.
I love the turn. Shoulders face cross-court. Evandro gets fooled, tries to block the angle, and Clemens Doppler going straight down the line to the open court.
Mixing it up, going to Evandro. Doppler gets his block down, ties the scores at 14-all.
It all starts with a tough serve, and Loyola Stein trying to get his feet under the ball and crush that ball. Clemens Doppler denies him.
Well, there the Chancellor of Austria, Christopher Kern, absolutely delighted. 137 kills for Loyola. Impressive stats from both players. 138 kills. Oh, it's another serve. Service ace for Austria. This time it comes from Clemens Doppler. His first of the match, his 17th of the tournament, and this couldn't have come at a more important time of this gold medal match.
I've been saying it is destiny. You see the emotion from Horst, the trickler. We've seen that so often. Austria now 5 of the last 6 points.
6 of the last points. It's coming with real flow and momentum. Surely Brazil will stop this and call a timeout. And yes, they do, Dave.
And the Brazilians look frustrated. I mean, who wouldn't? 2 plays, Clemens Doppler stuffing them down. Remember, the Brazilians had the strength with serve and blocking, but the Austrians are beating them at their own game as Horst continues to get treatment for the bee sting that happened early in the first set. If you are Brazil right now, you're thinking, we need to pass the ball off the net. I believe that Evandro putting the ball too close to the net and forcing Stein to hit, and Doppler's been making him pay. And Alexander Horst drinking a Red Bull. He is in the zone, working hard. 172 kcals, 7 jumps. traveled just over a half a kilometer, and those real-time body sensors giving us great feedback on distance traveled and number of jumps we've seen in a match. The K-Cows go over 850, 900.
Doppler Horst playing in their 50th FIVB World Tour match. Can they claim their first ever career gold here today? That was a good serve, brave attempt, and Dane, I know you like it when they push it to the wire like that, particularly with their service.
Yeah, go for it right there. He missed by just a couple of inches. That could have been another ace for all we know. So you gotta keep aggressive, keep the pressure on Brazil.
Evandro serving now for Brazil, just 1 point behind Austria. Serving Doppler. It's a lovely set from his partner. Now he looks to finish, gets the angle on the ball. Evandro is there. Horst thinks to go over on two, but not. And Doppler powers that ball right to the body of Evandro from Brazil, and is a break for Austria, 17-15.
Evandro laying it out, getting the ball up in the air. What Austria is doing is they're holding their composure in transition. They're not panicking, hitting the ball over early. They're taking their time. And when Clemens Doppler takes his time, he sees the entire court. Great shot.
That was the tactic that led them to success in the semis. If they can hold this style of play, the dream could be there. Targeting Evandro again, Austria with the service. He fought again. Horst is getting a little frustrated that he can't keep a hold of those power plays from the Brazilian.
Yeah, he shouldn't get frustrated. Those balls are being absolutely rifled right at him. Huge velocity being generated. 84.15 kilometers per hour right there, translating to 52 miles per hour. Not easy to dig that kind of velocity.
Andre Loyola Stein serving for Brazil. It's another good set from Horst for Doppler. Doppler tools the block of Loyola to put the point on the board for Austria. The break stays with the boys in red and white here, 18-16.
Crushing that ball across court. Loyola Stein, look at his blocking form. He presses with that left, nice and strong, but Clemens just crushing it.
Evandro with a nice set for his partner. It's a little close to the net. A chance for Austria here with Horst. Lovely little touch on the ball. Oh, the cheekiest shot of the match so far. The crowd love it. And Austria are now at 19-16. Quick side switch. But if they hold their nerve here, they could wrap up the first set, Dave.
Well, this is incredible. And if they do wrap up this first set, 6 of the last 7 World Championship matches have been sweeps, with the exception of 2015, which went 3. So the odds in their favor if they can wrap up the first.
Clemens Doppler, 36-year-old from Vienna, serving Brazil at 19-16. It's a little bit of a shank on the receive. Brazil are in trouble. Austria must capitalize now. Not going over on 2. Horst is there. Good block. Another chance for Doppler. Doppler, he's there! Set point for Austria! Beautiful play from Doppler and Horst. Brazil putting everything they've got, but still losing out.
And Brazil becoming very frustrated right now, unable to put the ball down because of the scrappy defense, the blocking on the Austrian side. Even with great stuff blocks, Loyola Stein can't figure it out because Austria is there. And then Clemens Doppler making sure they win the point with that rifle of a hit.
Absolute focus from Brazil here to try and stop Austria, wrapping up the first set. That was just a little too deep. But on serve receive, it's second set point for Austria.
Austria really has to learn to keep that first set ball in, give themselves a chance, but they'll have 3 in a row here.
Here's Evandro. service ace, number 4 for Evandro.
He brought it that time, I'll tell you, and Austria has seen enough. One ace, they don't want this thing to get any closer. They're gonna take Evandro out of rhythm. You know, a server such as Evandro, he gets confidence the more he gets the ball in, and he kind of gets in a rhythm. So this is a very smart timeout by the Austrians to try to break up that rhythm. Remember, a missed serve right now, and he missed that by Brazil, and this first set is over.
And that is the importance or the clever play and use of the 30-second break called the timeout. Technical timeout in the sets to 21 is part of the rule book, but the teams can call their own timeout, 1 per set, at any time they choose, and this could be a very smart play by the Austrians.
You know, this season, Brazil 16-3 when winning the first set, just 6-13 when losing the first set.
Well, Evandro, FIVB best server of the 2015 and the 2016 season. You can see why Austria have called a timeout to try and break his focus here. Set point number 3 for Austria, Brazil to serve.
Oh my goodness.
5, look at the speed, 95 kilometers per hour, just shy of 60 mph. Amazing service and amazing focus from Evandro. And now Austria need to start moving for the ball, even if it's going out, I'd say.
He unleashed that. Can he do it one more time is the question to tie this up. He's going for broke.
I have never seen 99 kilometers per hour, almost 100 kilometers per hour, 62 miles per hour. And that is absolutely amazing. 6 aces in the match for Evandro, 42 in the tournament, and that's how you get yourself out of trouble in the sport of beach volleyball.
That is an incredible stat. 14 total serves, 6 aces. Evandro is on absolute fire right now.
You need to win by 2 clear points. That's why you don't see the set point graphic for Austria. Good cut on the ball. Now we see the set point mark for Austria. 21-20. They need to score off their own service, but it's a 4th set point for the local heroes.
This was foolish by Andre Loyola Stein to stay at the net. The set was about 8 feet off the net. That allowed Evandro to have to cover the entire backcourt, and Alexander Horst knows he got away with one there.
Can Alex Horst finish it? Austria would love to put this first set to bed now. For them, it's dragged on long enough. Serving Loyola. Evandro sets his partner. Oh, and moving forwards rather than laterally at the back of the court. Horst is caught out of position, and Brazil tie the scores again.
So concerning, and remember the point I brought up, when you get a set point, don't miss your serve. Make sure the first time it's in. That gave life to the Brazilians. And right now, the Austrians just need to buckle down, get that first contact pass so you can run your offense smoothly.
Loyola serving to Doppler. Doppler now on the attack. Oh, and Loyola has got his block down. It is set point Brazil.
And you see, Andre Loyola Stein has been at the net the majority of the time. A lot of times he and Evandro switch. Even with him serving, he's running to the net. So he's got that green light. And right now, Brazil using him as the effective blocker.
Austria need to dig deep. Keep their calm and cool here. Loyola. Float serve. Oh, it's a shank pass from Doppler. Set 1 has gone to Brazil at 23-21. crowd have gone silent. They almost had it in the bag. 4 set points for Austria, allowing Brazil back into the game with an electrifying service game from Evandro. And what a comeback and what a turnaround for the Brazilians.
Here's Andre Loyola-Stein. He used the jump float technique, and the ball moves at the last second, and Clemens Doppler shanks that ball to the right. I have to be honest with you, Nick. I'm in shock right now. It was 20-17. The place was going crazy, and there the confirmation in the book, 23-21. The Brazilians come back and take it. As we look at the match statistics, 7 aces. Are you kidding me? 7 aces for Brazil. That was the difference. Let's go into a virtual Red Bull Beach Arena. Brazil serve placement. 62% to that far left side. They are obviously targeting Doppler. The yellow are aces. The green are return. 7 aces, 4 down the middle, 3 to the left side line of Doppler, and nothing going the way of Alexander Horst. A lot of respect there given Horst right there, but I believe this crowd is shocked as we start set number 2.
Austria have to win the second set to take it to a third tiebreak. The last time they met at the beginning of this season, it went to 3. Good shot from Doppler, trying to get his confidence back after that shank serve receive, and the final point of set 1. First point of set 2 on the board for Austria.
I was telling you, the odds are in favor, obviously, of winning that first set. If you don't win that first set, it's an uphill battle, but very doable. You just got to be consistent. I like Horst staying strong right there. You know, this season, Austria 18-1 when winning that first set, just 3-8 when losing the first set. And in 3 setters, Austria is 7-3. So if they can push this to a third set, they would be in good shape.
And finally, Austria get a hold of that service from Evandro. And Doppler, another quick point on the board. 2-1. They know that as well as you do, Dane. Those stats that you refer to. Austria now know that this needs to be a quick second set, and they need to take it as fast as they can to take it to a tie-break third. Doppler with service. Serving Evandro. Loyola sets his partner.
Oh, wow. There's the height coming in play. It looked like a bad set, about 8-9 feet off the net, but Evandro uses that 6'11" frame to go up the ladder and still get the kill. 3.06 meters on the spike height for Evandro. Look out.
That is a big jump. Now, Evandro's partner, Loyola, Andre Loyola with service. Going right down the line to Doppler. Nice little touch on the ball, but Loyola has it covered. Horst looks to put another point down for Austria. And Evandro up and attacking. Cross court. Advantage back to Brazil, 3-2.
It's just incredible what I'm seeing on the Brazilian side of the net. Interchangeability at the net, blocker or defender. We've seen Evandro up at the net. We've seen Loyola-Stein there. Evandro playing great defense. You know, you go back a couple years, Evandro nowhere near the defensive player that he is now in the backcourt. The referee has called a carry over the net. He tried to push the ball, which is a lift, and they can argue till no avail because this is not a challengeable situation. It is a judgment call by the head referee, and Papadougoulis have his hands full here with the whistles coming from the crowd, but you know what? I think he made the right call. I think Doppler wanted a simultaneous contact. He thought that Evandro was going to push back, but he missed the block, therefore using that open hand, which is illegal in beach volleyball.
Loyola with service. Horst, Doppler, beautiful shot. Now, that's a way to recompose after quite an argument with the referee. Doppler showing his quality and class there.
I haven't quite honed in on the theory of Brazil. At the end of that first set, Loyola Stein was serving and running to the net as a blocker. Now he's serving and staying back defensively. When they do that, 183 scores for Doppler. That is the best in the tournament.
He needs a few more to take gold for Austria. Big service from Horst. Well, it's a brave serve, but the service error stat is just starting to creep a little high for Austria, Dane, in comparison to Brazil.
I mean, Brazil's off the charts. Have you ever seen 33% of the points scored off service aces? It's just about the percentage in that first set for Evandro.
Good cover from Evandro. And the same from Horst, who's up on his feet and finishes it beautifully. That's the kind of play that we need to see from Austria. And that's the kind of play that will bring them this second set and take us into a third and a tiebreak.
Not sure how Loyola Stein stayed out of the net there, but he did. And Horst is there and goes right down the line. That is why he is feared, and that is why he is respected. Alexander Horst going for it defensively, but offensively he's so hard to read, and most teams have opted to go to the taller, maybe more powerful swing of Clemens Doppler for their chances for points.
Great play from Evandro.
That was a beautiful serve by Clemens Doppler. A lot of power. Give credit to Evandro. He passed that. And then they have that luxury of their height and athleticism to hit from so far off the net. Evandro squeaking it by Clemens Doppler.
Brazil with the break at 6-4. Loyola with service. Cross court to Doppler. Nice set from Horst. And a lovely play. Again, it's like they're on the warm-up court. Drills and skills that they work on all the time. Very nice to watch from the Austrian team.
Little inside out, away from body, cut shot, and how many times have we seen it? That line just dancing as the ball hits the outside edge.
Evandro sets Loyola. And now Doppler seems to be struggling to find the timing of his block just a little at this point in the second set. Remember, Brazil have won the first at 23-21. Let's keep fighting here, Austria. Evandro. Doppler starting to get the hang of these power serves and gives it back to him with equal amount of speed and power.
So much pressure every time. Clemens knows Evandro's targeting him. He's going at him all day long. Clemens passes that bullet and then he converts into offense and he's able to be successful. He has got his work cut out for him, Clemens Doppler.
Here's Doppler with service. Oh, and it just hits the tape of the net, but bounces the Austrian side of the court rather than trickling over to Brazil. That puts the break back with Brazil at 8-6.
Evandro and Andre only playing in their 8th FIVB World Tour tournament together, a new team in 2017, whereas the Austrians, they have competed since 2012.
50th tournament today. come off the fingertips of Evandro. Over on 2 from Alex Horst. They're allowed 3 contacts, but the Austrian decides to take it early, and it's a shot that pays dividends.
The roll shot, and what do you know? Going over on 2, Alexander Horst, he's trying to get some action out here. You know, he hasn't been served at all, so he's got to take it and get it where he can.
Alex Horst serving for Austria. Service error again is becoming the bogey part of the Austrian game. Break with Brazil at 9-7. Evandro with service. 27-year-old from Rio de Janeiro. Best server of the tournament. Best server in the game. But Austria are starting to find their groove again. And Doppler is starting to find the answers to the serve received from Evandro.
Yeah, he's getting his arms out nice and early. And I don't care if you're ready for that serve, it's still difficult. You got to keep your focus and watch the ball all the way in. And more impressive is Doppler's array of shots. He's gotten almost every single serve, and he's just put the ball everywhere on the court for winners. Jeez, that set is 10 feet off the net. Literally 10 feet off the net, and it's almost as if they want to set it back there to take Clemens Doppler as a blocker out of the equation. And the ability of both these Brazilians to really still get that whip action and get that ball in with that velocity from that far off the net is impressive.
Yeah, Brazil have clearly done their homework on the Austrian team. Their tactic is working very well. That's a good shot from Doppler. He's been kept very busy. We'll see from the RTBS real-time body sensors that he's got more jumps and more kcals than any player out on court. They really are working him hard, but he's doing okay. He's holding his own.
Oh, he absolutely is. And battling, could have easily won that first set if things had gone just one play, gone the other way. And he's doing his job, Clement. That almost looks like an ace just out of bounds. So great lead by Andre Loyola Stein.
A little bit of a shower starting to break out here in the Red Bull Beach Arena center court. And I think that one or two of the players may want to change glasses.
That was interesting. The sun peeked through just at the same time as the rain started to come down. And when it gets a little wet, we call that a slower track. Sometimes not as easy to hit the ball, definitely harder to overhand set the ball because of the moisture. And that's what can start to happen. You kind of lose your feel, the ball maybe gets a little heavier, and so we'll see how the weather holds out. So the sun is out and the rain.
30-second break, technical timeout. Total of 21 points on the scoreboard right now. Austria still have Brazil within their sights in their quest to try and take this second set and force Brazil to a third set tie break. Now, Dane, Austria's service placement. Let's review the Austrian tactic here. It's all going to Andre, including the 3 yellow ball service aces.
Yeah, you've seen a few balls going to Evandro, but more spread out in the second set. You saw that first set, they had a clear-cut strategy. It didn't work. There's the service aces to service errors. Doppler and Horst, that is completely reversed. 3 aces, 9 errors. Wow, Brazil, 7 aces, only 3 errors. They're keeping that ratio in check for Brazil, and if they can continue that aggressive serving with those types of numbers, it's very tough to stop them.
Yeah, that service error stat for Austria is a little worrying for me. Loyola, 473 kcals, 1.5 kilometers. 412 kcals for Doppler, 1.4, 1.3 kilometers. But clearly, the Brazilians just burning a little more energy, pushing themselves that little bit harder. Intriguing to see what the burn rate is of all 4 players out on court with the real-time body sensors. Good serve from Doppler. He's up at the net against Evandro. But Evandro just tools that ball off the block. And that is a big point on the board, I have to say, for Brazil. 12-10, the break is back with the South Americans.
Now Evandro will go to the net to be the blocker as Loyola Stein toes the back line.
Doppler again. He's earning his money today, isn't he? There is no room for rest for Clemens Doppler, but he's making each and every shot work.
You know, Clemens Doppler used to be an indoor player in the late 90s, but after playing in the World Championships in Klagenfurt in 2001, decided to go full bore, playing with Nick Berger on the beach. And we saw that earlier, the Netherlands, and that ball's out of bounds.
Yeah, well, let's have that challenge, Brazil, because we're high up in the stadium here in our commentary box, looking down on the referees. And that looked to be out from our view. Let's leave it to Hawkeye to settle.
Actually, the Austrians gave themselves up. I think it was Clemens Doppler, the sportsman that he is. He said that he touched the ball. So some great sportsmanship from a class act, and that's Clemens Doppler.
Evandro, again, the big service. Doppler again has got the measure of it. Doppler with a nice little touch shot over the net. That is a big point return from Austria here. 12-13, still have Brazil within their sights.
Clemens Doppler again to finish off of that point. We had the Netherlands, Van Garderen, an indoor player converted into this tournament. So a lot of players start at indoor, which that was the spot for Clemens Doppler, and he has converted his game, getting his money's worth. 150 kills, the best attacker in the tournament, Clemens Doppler, and Brazil has been relentless in giving him every serve.
Evandro did not want to risk that hitting the line. Down the line shot from Doppler. Great save from Loyola, who now attacks for Brazil. Again into the net. Oh!
Andre Loyola Stein earned that point 100%. I can't believe he's getting these hits to fall so far off the net. Here he fakes there. That kind of makes Doppler hesitate. The set's off the net. I don't know how Loyola Stein brought that back, but then the set is way off the net. There's that up, and here comes the set way off the net. He gets a little fortunate with the bounce that kind of goofed off the top of the net. Hard to play, hard to judge, and it catches Clemens Doppler just a little bit high. Unfortunate bounce of the ball there for Austria.
Great rally. The sport has been taken to a new level here in Vienna in so many ways, but now the four gladiators on court really are digging deep. Again, a touch of class from Clemens Doppler of Austria.
Love this shot right here. Alexander Horst, we also have to give a ton of credit putting up beautiful sets for Clemens Doppler.
We are proud, say the fans in the crowd. Let's see if they can just give a little more pride out there. I don't think Austria are done yet. Evandro sets Loyola. Oh, that is a remarkable shot. Such athleticism from Loyola. The break is back with Brazil at 15-13. It's quick side switch day.
This guy is ridiculous. Andre Loyola Stein, he's springy, just 22 years of age, just bouncing around on the court, making it look easy. Doesn't matter where the set is. When you can hit with that kind of range, it is a luxury, and it takes a lot of pressure off of your setter, Evandro.
He's got an amazing vertical leap, hasn't he, Loyola? And here's his partner, Evandro, with the big serve. Oh, no, a float serve, but Austria have it covered. Again, Doppler can do no wrong with those kind of shots at the net. If he can just find his block, Austria could get back into the lead in this must-win second set for the local heroes.
I'm not sure how Clemens Doppler is hanging on. He's breaking out every single shot in his arsenal as the Brazilians just relentless in their pursuit to get points off of him.
Oh, service error from Doppler. The pressure on Doppler and Horst is quite amazing. The amount of media attention that they have received at this World Championship, and the expectation, not just from the crowd here today, but from the nation, has just grown as the tournament has unfolded. Loyola does well to hang on to that one. Horst, can we keep this up? Lovely play from Doppler. Horst puts it away! Point to Austria. Brazil want to challenge. Referee Papadouglas from Greece trying to calm all four players down.
Yeah, absolutely, they should be able to challenge. They think that there was a touch on the block initially, therefore you can't have 3 contacts after that. Brazil trying to challenge. We haven't seen the official call by Papadouglas, but he should make that motion because it was well within their rights to call 4 contacts. See, if the block didn't touch the ball, everything would have been fine, right? They could have dug the ball, set the ball, hit the ball. But if the blocker touched the ball at all, that's the first contact. Alexander's dig was the second. Clemens would have been the third. Not sure of what the explanation right there was. Oh, that is absolutely ridiculous. They called it immediately as they hit that 4th contact. That's a terrible call, and the Brazilians know it as well. They wanted a block touch, and they wanted to see if Clemens Doppler would set that ball or try to go over the net on that final contact, and that's the only way that they would be calling for a challenge. I can't even believe it.
Papadouglas blows the whistle for play to restart. Loyola hits that ball down to the line. I think Horst was there, but he felt it was going out of play. Right on the baseline of the Austrian court. Break back with Brazil, 17-15.
It's a big comeback right there, using the whole court. Just to show you don't have to hit the ball straight down. You want to use the entire court. I'm surprised the Brazilians bounced back so quickly after that very controversial call when they were denied the challenge.
Now does Evandro hold his focus? Good serve receive from Doppler yet again. Over the top of the block, right to the corner of the Brazilian court. Keeping the South Americans within 1 point. They need to score off the service now. Doppler needs an ace or a big serve here to try and tie the scores at 17 all.
The Austrians have to get it going right here. Go for it if you're Clemens Doppler right down the middle. That's been vulnerable for the Brazilians.
It's a big serve from Austria. Evandro. Oh, but what a magnificent return. A superb serve received from the Brazilian number 2 and an attacking shot near perfection.
See, the thing is, I'm just astonished, and the Austrians have to be just baffled. They're getting Brazil in trouble. Look at this, pass is way off the net, but then a height spike of 3.23 and Evandro making it look easy from way off the net. It's so hard to defend that shot. Look at him thread the needle down the alley between the antenna and the left arm of Clemens Doppler. I don't know if I've seen a hit like that from that far off the net.
Recovery skills from Brazil. have been the key to their success to this point. 18-16, having won the set 23-21. Doppler's on the attack for Austria, over the top of the block. He gets one arm there, Loyola, but can't control the ball. 17-18.
Again, Clemens Doppler making magic happen right here. Taking a look at the defense, going just deep enough to throw Andre Loyola Stein off, and it results in a point for Austria. They are running out of time. They do need to score while serving.
They need to score now, Dane. It is getting really hot down there. We're right at the business end of this second set that Austria must win. Horst with the service to Loyola. Evandro sets his partner. Loyola up at the net, and he brushes it off the hands of Doppler. 19-17.
Incredible back and forth by these two teams that have had amazing tournament here over the last 9 days, and they saved the best for last here in the championship match.
.90 kilometers per hour. Serve speed. Oh, well, can Austria pull this one out? .480 cals, but look at the amount of energy that Doppler is burning, over 520 kcals. The scores are all tied at 19 all.
I think the ref made the right call. He called a double contact there. Although it looked like Loyola Stein went for the poke and then fished it out of the net, but how many times did it bounce off a different part of the body is the question. So things getting extremely intense, but Austria doing what they had to do right there, score a point while serving, and they have locked it up at 19. Wow.
Now it looks like Brazil have taken the advantage here to call a timeout. A 30-second break in proceedings. It's getting very heated out there, and you can understand why, Dave. This is the biggest tournament of the year, the biggest prize in this sport since the Olympic Games of Rio last summer. So tempers are starting to fray. Brazil decide to take a 30-second break as the scores are tied at 19 points to all. Brazil have won the first set, 23-21. Austria must win the second to go to a third tie-break decider.
If Austria comes back and wins this, it was at 16-14 when that challenge was disallowed by Papadouglas that everyone will look at. Wow, I tell you, that denying, looking at a replay, that was very interesting. I don't think that was the correct call at all, and I'm surprised Brazil has been able to recover from it, but it's just what Austria needed, and this crowd, they weren't disappointed. Now it's a game to 2 for all the marbles.
Well, there is the Austrian Chancellor, Christian Kern, waving his flag, doing his fair share of the cheering here. Can Austria pull this off? Service error from Doppler. Brave attempt at an ace serve, but it is match point for Brazil. This is for the World Championship title. And can Brazil, for the 7th time, take the World Championship gold? Horst watches on. Loyola staring right down the net. Up he goes with the serve. It's a float to Doppler. Horst sets his partner. Doppler puts the ball. Evandro covers it beautifully. Can Evandro finish it? It's out of play. Another chance for Austria. And they're still on court. They live to play another point.
Oh my goodness. All you can dream of is to take a swing for championship point. And Evandro had that swing. He just couldn't get his bearings and hit that ball in the court. Now can Brazil recover from that huge missed opportunity? Beautiful D, but couldn't convert.
Horst serves for Austria. Scores are tied at 20-all. Evandro sets it up for Loyola to attack. And that ball has come off the arm and hands of Austria. 21-20 the score for Brazil. It is the South Americans' second match point. Can Austria save it again? In the Red Bull Beach Arena, there are 12,000 fans, all willing Austria on to keep this match going. Evandro will take the service for Brazil. Oh, it's over! It is gold for Brazil, silver for Austria. They have finally done it. 22-20 in the second set. Brazil have won gold at the FIVB Beach Volleyball World Championships, presented by A1. 2-0. The Brazilian contingent in the crowd begin their celebrations. A brave performance from Austria. But Dane, at the end, just outplayed by the service skills of Evandro and the athleticism of Loyola.
Evandro cannot believe it. Has been through so much heartache with the loss of his father in 2012. He goes over to his coaches, I believe Costas and Renata Franza up in the stands, and the emotion right there from how difficult it has been for Evandro to get to this point. A ninth place with Pedro Solberg in the Olympics, made the switch to the young Andre Loyola Stein. And I'll tell you what, Nick, I have never seen Evandro play at that level, or Andre Loyola Stein. They saved the best for last, and you have to credit, remember, 20-17 in the first set. Evandro rolls the dice with ripping the serve. He misses just one of those serves, and they lose that set. So he rolled the dice and really risked it all here today, and that's how the Brazilians made it happen. They played on such a high level. The Austrians, on the other hand, wow, what a tournament for them.
Well, let's go down to the Olympic champion from London 2012, Julius Brink, who has the victorious Brazilian side down on court.
Vor der Siegerehrung gibt's natürlich die Interview mit allen
Loyola,
vier.
first.
Da hören wir rein.
Loyola, first of all, congratulations. I mean, you're shaking your hands. You can't believe this. How does it feel to call yourself a world champion?
Thank you, Vienna. Thank you. Good match, Austria. Very happy. Thank you for the 2 weeks here. Thank you for Brazil, my family, my partner, my team. We're very, very happy. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for this performance. Thank you very much, and enjoy this day. Thank you, Vienna.
Well, understandably, a huge amount of emotion. Dane, you talked about it earlier, particularly for Evandro. He's had more than his fair share of misfortune over the years. And the reason why he runs to his coach is because the coaches have literally taken him under their wing and have been guiding him through some troublesome parts in his life for the past few years. And there's no better way to repay a coach, there's no better way to repay friendship than World Championship gold. And look at this, shots of celebration. But I have to say, Austria, consummate professionals, and put on a real good show for the Austrian fans and for beach volleyball fans around the world.
Well, the only other thing you could ask for is a championship. They made it all the way to the finals, something they had never done, medal in their home country of Austria, and they played so well and elevated their game. Unfortunately for Austria, they ran into one of the hottest young players, Andre Loyola Stein, and an absolute rocket cannon of an arm server in Evandro.
Spectacular. 23-21, 22-20. Statistics are just so impressive from Evandro. and Loyola. The Brazilian team putting out 7 aces in a gold medal match here. And I'm sure you will agree with me that the crowd were on the side of one team who took silver medal. It is a career best for both of the Austrian players. They have done Austria proud here, but they were just outplayed by the better duo on the day.
Yeah, it just happens sometimes, and it was all about the serve of Evandro. I mean, are you kidding me? 7 serves, aces in the first set? That is a freight train coming through, and there's just nothing that Austria could do about it. It was, when you meet a team that's that hot, it can be really scary. And I think Clemens Doppler played a fantastic match. He was targeted, but he was putting the ball away left and right, and it came down to the wire every single set. 23-21 and 22-20, just incredible.
Dane, it's been a spectacular 11th World Championship. The FIVB will be delighted. The sport of beach volleyball takes a big step forwards once again here. We've had innovational graphics, we've had play that has had the crowd on their feet, as well as record-breaking audiences. Let's go down to Julius once again with the silver medalist from Doppler, Horst.
Clemens,
first of all, congratulations for winning silver and not losing gold. That was spectacular performance in the last days. Tell me about your feelings.
English or German?
You can speak English.
So for everyone who will understand me here on the island, I try my Oxford English, so let's see. It was an amazing journey the last 10 days. It was the week of our life. It was so much fun to play in front of this audience. I mean, so much respect for everyone who came out here with the rain, standing in front of the stadium. I mean, you know, the easy way would be on the sofa at home, watching it on television. But you came here, you supported us. We really wanted to win gold, but he was risking good at the end. He was serving 4 aces against the set ball, so I think they deserved to win. But yeah, like you said, we didn't lose gold. We won silver, and it was so nice to play in front of you. Thank you.
Alex, as you as a fighter, I mean, I saw you fighting the whole week through this with the fans in your back. How difficult has it been? And maybe it was a question of power at the end?
No, I don't think so. I think we played really good at the beginning. We're leading 20, 16 or 17, and then he served like hell. Yeah, that's why he's the best service player in the world. Yeah, and I also want to say thank you. Vielen, vielen Dank. Ihr seid wirklich Wahnsinn. Es hat unglaublich Spaß gemacht. Thank you to the organizers, to the sponsors, and especially to our team, with our coach Novo and our physio, statistics, and everybody, our family. And at the end, of course, thank you. Vielen, vielen Dank an euch alle. Ihr seid Wahnsinn. Vielen, vielen Dank.
Thank you. You're a great sportsman. Thank you very much.
Well, trying their best not to be too disappointed to accept defeat, but we gleaned from that interview they were outplayed by the service of Evandro. That's how they lost that first set, and Dane, they were unable to recover in the second.
Yeah, they lost the match by simply 4 points, going the distance. There's the stats. 7 aces for Brazil, 3 on the side of Austria. It looked like Austria was going to turn the tables on the Brazilians, scoring from the back line at the net, but it wasn't meant to be. And Julius is right. They did not lose the gold there. They won the silver, and I'll tell you what, all the credit in the world needs to be given to Evandro and Loyola. They really went out and took it.
Beach Volleyball FIVB President Dr. Ari Gracia gives the trophy to the players. And the FIVB President must be delighted with the success of this World Championship. Congratulations, of course, to the CEO of the Beach Majors Company, Hannes Jagerhofer, who has done a remarkable job in bringing this sport to a new level, I have to say. Evandro and Andre Loyola of Brazil, the 2017 FIVB Beach Volleyball World champions.